The Referendum Working Group and the Government have agreed on the provisions that all Australians will vote on in this year's referendum. I want to thank sincerely all the members of the Working Group and all who have engaged with them. This moment has been a very long time in the making, yet they have shown such patience and optimism through this process.
Australia took the first formal steps towards a referendum to recognise Indigenous people in its constitution and set up a so-called voice to Parliament to advise lawmakers on matters that impact them. A bill introduced on Thursday triggers a nationwide vote later this year on the matter, as the country's Aboriginal people are not acknowledged in its 122-year-old constitution. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus said it would help Australians come together for a more reconciled future.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have occupied the Australian continent for over 60,000 years and represent the oldest continuous living cultures in human history. Yet Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are not recognised in our constitution. We will all stand with a clean heart and a clean conscience, and we will know our country is on the path to a better direction.
For much of Australia's history, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders have been sidelined by colonial rulers. Although they make up about 3.2% of the country's population, they were not granted voting rights until the 1960s and consistently track below national averages on most socio-economic measures. Campaigns to say yes to the voice are underway. Its supporters include Thomas Mayo, a signatory to the earlier Uluru Statement that called for the committee.
Well, the symbolic part of the referendum is recognising Indigenous people as the First Peoples. But the form of recognition that Indigenous people have proposed is through having a voice, because it gives us greater fairness.
But other Aboriginal voices, such as Warren Mundine, the former head of the Australian Labor Party, oppose the voice.
We've tried this 5 times in the past and it hasn't worked. So the only thing that really works is treating people equal in the society, helping people who need to be helped in regard to setting up businesses, in regard to making economic prosperity for their people, getting people into schools and into universities and having healthy, safe lifestyle. The voice is not going to fix one iota of the problems that we have in Indigenous affairs.
The main opposition Liberal Party says it hasn't reached a decision yet on supporting constitutional amendments, but its junior coalition partner, the rural-based National Party, says it would oppose them. A Guardian poll last week found 59% of respondents were in favour of the referendum.